Hi, everyone. Welcome to Your Disabled Joy. My name is Nico Meyering, and I use he, him pronouns. I'm a white man with parted blonde hair, large blue and brown spectacles, and a tan button up t shirt. I'm seated in front of a green wall and then kind of a deeper peach wall. That's my kitchen. And like about 25% of the global population, I'm disabled. Non-disabled people might see our lives and experiences as sad, tragic, even pitiful. But, well, I don't know, guys. I've been disabled a pretty long time now, and I think there's also room for disabled joy. Our disability community has as many opinions as it has members, which is why I've asked my friend Jonathan here with me today to discuss disabled joy. Hi, Jonathan. How are you doing?
Hi, it's pleasure to meet you. Thank you for having me here.
Of course. Jonathan, can you share a joyful memory with me? It could have to do with your disability journey, or it could be totally separate.
So my first joyful memory I can experience was that I was selected to be in Temple student government at Temple University, like to be a representative for the Disability Resource Services. So like I got selected by Temple students with disability to be the representative and bring the voices and the concerns to student government and like to create policies, issues, and like to make more campus ADA accessible and like to have more resources like to help students with disabilities and encourage with disabilities that have better and successful life while attending to Temple University. So those were one of my joyful memory I have experienced doing this by myself, like campaigning and getting students to vote for me and like to have a goal set and like what I want to accomplish while I'm still in government and like what are these accomplish I want to reach out to students and like how can I advocate for other persons with disabilities.
That's really incredible. It must have felt great to not only have that honor, but also to have that responsibility and to improve lives and outcomes, not only for yourself, but for the entire disabled population at Temple. Thank you for doing that work.
No, thank you.
How have how has your disabled journey or how have your disabilities kind of impacted how you seek out joy for yourself or how you find that happiness?
So when I was in high school, I was in a special ed program, and during those years, like I was ashamed of my disability, like I was ashamed of being in special ed, like I was isolated, I didn't have any friends, like I made a fool of myself. The things that I did was pretty foolish that students make fun of me and laugh at me. So like I was isolated. Like I had no one. Like I hated my disability. I was ashamed of my disability when I was in high school. Like it was one of the worst and bad experience in high school that I had to go through. And like I just like when I was in high school, I was always thinking myself saying that is there a cure for my disability? Like, can I be normal or can I be normalized? Like, can I get out of the special ed and to be normal like the rest of the students, like have normal classes, take normal homework assignments, like to have a equal opportunity but equal quality, like to be normal, like to feel normal, like you belong on there, like to like you shouldn't have been in special ed, like you should be in rest of the students, like take the SATs or like classes that are high school events, like algebra or science, like upper events, not kindergarten. So like during those times, like it wasn't good for me and I was pretty unhealthy. And like after I finished that, and when I came to Temple University back in 2016, I finally found a program called Academy for Adult Life program, and that is for those with intellectual and development disabilities to get the college experience. And when I got there, everything changed for me. So like Temple University gave me the leadership and advocacy skills that I gained and I developed from Temple University that I didn't got from high school. Like I got those tools how to advocate for myself, how I advocate for services I want for classes, and how I can go to district resource services, like to talk to my professor, to talk about my combination plan, and I gained these like tools from my friends and mentors that they have taught me and how to be more independent on my own and advocating not just myself but other students with disabilities. So like Temple University gave me like the skills to become a disability activist and also become a leader for the students with disabilities. And like the difference between me being high school and then have no advocacy skills and was ashamed when I came to Temple, I finally accepted myself, or I finally accepted who I am. So I finally accepted my disability. So like when I got there, like I wasn't ashamed anymore after high school. When I grew that kid, like when I wasn't that kid anymore, and I became more as a young adult. So I finally accepted myself and I finally accepted my disability. So I'm pretty proud of my disability that is part of me.
You have every reason to be proud, my friend. That is a huge change, going from who you were in high school and kind of the perspective you had on disability in high school, and then coming to that sense of self-advocacy and self-empowerment in college. That's incredible. That is a huge change, and that takes a lot of work on your part. That was a great thing to hear. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It also kind of jives with my experiences, right? When I was in elementary school, I do remember that there was a special ed classroom, and that the students in that classroom really didn't get chances to interact with, my class or any of the other, I think the term is mainstream classes, but I'm not sure if that's the current term now. It was when I was trained to be a teacher. Oh, well, thank you again.
Yeah.
Jonathan, if I could give you a magic megaphone and you could tell the whole world one thing about disabled life or disabled quality of life, what would that one thing be?
Like to always like to step one another or always step yourself or like always like to get people to support you or people to support around you, always like having your back or like to have positivity and also like good energy like around you, like always like bring smile and always bring joy to the people around you, the people you interact and the people you work with professionally and also personal, like to like bring those positivities, like to influence other people, but also influence other generations in the future, or like to show influence, or like to if they want to become a disability advocate like myself, or they want to like work in disability policies or laws like for the disabled community, like to be a role model for like yourself but also for other people, like to show them like what kind of person you can become or like what kind of person you could like become a good person, and like showing them how much you care, how much you dedicate, and how much you are commitment and how much you're serious and advocating for other people with disabilities who have been lost to services or like their voices ain't be heard from representative from the government or agencies or like nonprofit organizations, like to show people how you serious are the cause you believe in or also the cause you fight for, and like to show that like there's always like you could do anything you want or you can accomplish anything you want as long as you like do the hard work and show people that you can do it, like you can prove people that you're capable of accomplish your dream and goals, like doesn't matter like who they are or like how it's gonna affect you, and you as long as you keep fighting and never give up but always like bring hope to your life, like you always like accomplish your goals you want to achieve in the future and show people how you are a keeper, independent person as a person with a disability.
Wow, that was a very comprehensive answer. And I love how you led with compassion and empathy, and also a sense of like rugged determination. That's pretty great. Thank you, Jonathan. My last planned question is one that I ask all my interviewees, regardless of topic. Is there a recent win that you're celebrating that you want to name so that we can celebrate along with you? Or what cool things are you doing? What's coming up for you? What projects do you have? If you're interested in like connecting or growing your community, I guess, where can people find you online? This is really your chance to brag, to promote yourself. So I'm all ears. Let's hear it.
So there's a project I've been working on that I've been sharing on social media about a project called Penthouse, like the state institution that have been institutionalized for people with intellectual development disabilities. Everybody should know the story and the history about what happened over there. And I did a project with that at Temple University, and we did a exhibit 3 months ago back in Philly, show the become representative for the Penthouse residents and share the story to the community for people with and without disability. We have a presentation is going to Washington DC that we're gonna present all those exhibit that we have accomplished, the data we collected, and to bring the voices, to bring a file back to life, show the story, to show to other people about the Penthouse and what happened to them and the history, to show the Penthouse files, what it's like to be there and what happened, what they closed, show them to get people curious. And it's gonna be in Washington DC from July 25th to July 27th. It's at Senate building. They're gonna be in Washington DC. So we're gonna be there, and the rest of the community activists gonna be there on July 27th from 10 to 4 p.m. Washington DC. So we're gonna speak with government representative and legislation, and also Bob Casey, the senator, gonna be there. He invited us to bring the exhibit to Washington DC for the government to come in and to share the story with them about Penthouse, who they are, how is it meaningful for them, to get more people into. So it's one of my excited moments, to go to Washington DC. I wanna the Penthouse file that I have did.
Jonathan, that's incredible. I'm so glad that this important work that you've done is going to DC and getting an audience. That's really cool. All right, Jonathan, thank you so much for speaking with me. I love learning more about you, and I really enjoyed the perspective that you brought to this interview. Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be here.
Of course. Audience, remember, I'm rooting for you. Bye.